a world record attempt. This is being approved. This is being acknowledged by Guinness. What the hell are you thinking?
Failure is not an option.
I'll tell you guys.
Imagine I come off for a rest and he's trying to get the tiger balm out. I'm like, oh, I'm back on the field.
Anything to get that percentage up on Dean.
Do you think it's safe for a bunch of 80-year-olds to play a game? You're all winners in my eyes. No matter what happens, boys.
Thank
You beautiful buggers.
Let's go. We were waiting for that.
I'm Danny Clayton, and this is The Longest Game, a extraordinary world record breaking attempt by a bunch of pretty ordinary guys. Dino, you're with me here to give the professional opinion on whether the athletes joining us today are capable of achieving this world record. Can you introduce some of these lads? Who are these men before us?
So we've got the old school gang here. You know, these guys were, they tell stories from back in the day. And Tommy, who's the OG? Is it 2000?
Pick up that football, Tommy. Pick up that football. We've got some questions for you. So
2001?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Back in, it must have been about 2000 when a mate of mine who was doing his MBA said, "Hey, Tommy, come down. Why don't you come down to Tama and have a bit of a run with us guys?" I said, "Well, who are you running with?" And he said, "Oh, not a bunch of MBA mates." So I thought, oh, hey, nothing wrong with a bit of touch footy on the sand, which I had not done before.
So this is a Sunday game back in the...
This was a Sunday game. So whatever, 24 years ago, almost 25. I must say I was not an absolute original. There were other guys who have since just gone to bigger and better things, I'm sure. And there is only probably one guy who remains as a near original. And he still turns up and he still puts it in. But back in those days, we were a good bunch of, what would you call us?
Hellraisers.
Pioneers, thank you. And we'd go and we'd have our lattes and in the day before piccolos afterwards, although John used to have one, I think. And they even had the cafe. Now this is big thing, cafe at the northern end, not the current southern end.
So Johnny, when did you start? When did you...
I started probably about 2001 or 2002.
Yep.
I had gone to uni with Tom.
Yep.
So we'd played for the Busby Buccaneers, won the F grade mixed grand final back in the day.
Is that a real team or are you just making up words?
No. The lime green shirt, the Busby insignia.
So basically, you guys have been playing this since the 2000s. Do you think it's safe for a bunch of 80-year-olds to play a game? A record-breaking attempt at touch.
You're only as old as you feel.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And that's the PG,
Yeah. I'm really glad that you let me play, actually.
Johnny's been there ever since.
Yeah. So is Dino relatively new to the team? Because I feel like there is such a huge spread of people, ages, backgrounds. So is this? Would you consider him the spring chicken?
We call him the baby of the game. I mean,
Don't forget your
field. You could call him on the field, maybe the cry baby. But no, he never complains. He takes the calls with a lot of respect and honour. And so I think he's
I'm going to be
probably
nice to Tommy because he's refereeing the world's longest game. So you've really got to be nice to the refs. So thank you for your comment.
That's right.
Please tell me you call him sport and champ and stuff.
Champ.
Really demeaning,
call him,
demeaning stuff.
I think we've got a very good name for him in the Whippet because he's lean, he's fast, and he scores a hell of a lot of tries, racing through the centre. So Whippet seems to be the appropriate name.
It's a great game because it's whilst it's competitive, it's not too competitive. We change teams. Someone goes off, and then next minute they're on the other team, so it doesn't get ultra competitive. But every now and then, a couple of players seem to rattle each other, and it's quite entertaining.
Oh, please tell me there's been a biff. Has there been a biff?
Well, not whilst I've been there. You'd have to refer to the.
There was once an ankle tap I did, and the guy never returned.
So you're the one to watch out for. Yeah.
The old ankle tap.
Yeah. Well,
right.
can I mean, I'll ask like Loz a question, because I think that I've been told that you are the most keen, that you're the first person to arrive, you're the last person to leave. Actually, some are saying that you actually sleep under the lifeguard tower.
Sometimes I sleep under the deck of where they put the volleyball nets. But yeah, I'm very keen to get there early each morning. I set up the field. I sort of have. I feel as though that's my little contribution to
It's a huge
Tama
contribution.
My name is Loz, and I've been doing this beach touch football in Tama for about 5 years now. I determine how long the field has got to be by about 5 paces per person.
Because you're mine, I walk the line.
It's actually six steps per person for the first 4, and then 5 steps for every person after that.
Because you're mine, I walk the line.
So I'm there like 10 minutes before the game starts, walking my little the field, measuring it out. But I think the game is such a brilliant activity for us all, right? We all love it. We're on the field. It's a little bit of competitiveness and competition in the mornings. We're trying our damned hardest to score a try, but at the same time, no one keeps score. It's not that sort of type of thing where you're trying to win. You're just trying to play as well as you can. And I think Johnny, I mean, I play most games. Johnny is there for most of the games as well. But there's a crew that probably play 90% of the games that we hold. So.
I mean, from what I've been told, I heard that if there was a game of touch on Mars, you'd be ringing Elon and you'd be on SpaceX up there because you're that keen. And this is something I'd like to know about all of you. I mean, when has there been a time when the conditions were probably a little bit too hairy, but you turned up anyway? Like, I'm thinking Cyclone Alfred. Were you guys out there in the wind and in the rain?
I can give a little example of that. One time, every year we have to spend about 3 weeks on tour away from Tama Beach when Sculptures by the Sea takes over Tamarama Beach, right? So this was, I think, one time, maybe September, they have Sculptures. So it was sort of very cold
over 3
morning
weekends.
where we went to Bondi, started at 6 a.m. And I remember just getting out of the car. It was a rainy morning, but the rain had sort of held off. I remember parking in the beach parking area, getting out of the car, and then just a cloudburst happened and it pissed down. And just as I got out of the car, it was cold rain as well. You know how you can sort of feel it it's fallen from up in the icy clouds. And I got out of the car, and Connell had done the same a couple of meters away from me, and we just looked at each other and went, "What the fuck are we doing?" So yeah.
Just when there are kind of the super high tides or the Christmas tides, the beach gets reshaped, and then we've got the rakes, which Loz got, so we can...
Did you get those rakes, Loz?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So we sometimes can spend 10, 15 minutes at least raking the field.
It's a great opportunity. The boys clean the beach.
Yeah.
They're there. They're sweeping the stuff up. They pick the rubbish up. They put it in the bin. They make the beach beautiful.
And everyone walking past is like, look at these council employees. Our tax rates go to them, and they're doing a great job.
Some of the conditions after a heavy surf are incredible. It looks like a swamp sometimes. I expect a croc to come crawling out of it. We've had incredible sand events going into the Tamarama, into the park. Not so many years ago, we would see sculptures completely inundated with water, with surf.
Look, I don't know, Dean. I kind of consider you to be the person who is the fitness professional here. Is what he's saying true?
Well, I wasn't there back in the day. I do feel like...
What is it like now?
I feel like the Bondi culture's changed. For people that aren't from Bondi, there's a certain fitness culture and a health and wellness, per capita, there's more organic shops and yoga studios in Bondi than there is anywhere else in the world.
But I must clarify my statement. I'm referring to the teenagers.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, sorry. Oh, you were asking about the...
right. Look, guys,
Maybe ask. What about the older players then? We're diving, but not in the same like way that the teenagers are doing it, huh? So
yeah, the dives are kind of like the Bionic
Old and
Man
creaky.
dives.
They're more like trips. More like tripping and diving.
Well, the sand's very forgiving as well when we do dive or fall over in some cases.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Because, you hear about everyone doing their ACLs and knees on grass.
Yeah.
Sand, other than a couple of fingers and a broken rib, nothing. So...
Look,
We've had some injuries.
I don't want to get dark here, guys.
But I will.
But I'm not playing, so I can. What I will say is, this is a world record attempt. This is being approved. This is being acknowledged by Guinness. Now, what the hell are you thinking? Like, this is not something that just anyone can do. This is usually something reserved by super athletes. How are you feeling about this attempt? Do you think that you can genuinely get this world record? John?
It's an interesting one, the way you put it, Danny, because when I started, I've played, there's a Bondi game on Saturday, there's the Tama game on Sunday, I play the Tuesday, Thursday, and then I do a bit of swimming. But since I've started training, I've lost 6 kilos, actually eating a fair bit differently. It will be tough, there's no doubt, but I think everyone's committed, invested, and I think we're definitely can do it.
Yeah. And I mean, you're a lawyer. So what happens if someone dies? Do you just drag them off? And what did we get in trouble? What's the legalities here?
Tom will give him the kiss of life.
Oh, okay.
So
They will wake up quick. That's right. You can be sure of that.
Yeah. To do the kiss of life, usually you don't use as much tongue as Tom normally does.
That's right.
Okay. So I mean, look, it is a challenge, and when you come to gentlemen who may not be in their 20s or 30s, or in some cases in their 50s,
Keep going.
okay, if they're not even in their 60s, when they're up in that upper age limit, what is the important thing to keep in mind about their bodies for a super endurance event?
Yeah, we're an aging fleet, there's no doubt. So as you get older, you've got to be a little bit smarter, and we might have to retire some of the vessels before the big game. But for me, you want to stay mobile. If you're mobile, there's less chance of getting injured, and then of course we're just trying to build that preparation up. And so it's really getting towards the pointy end of it, and the boys are starting to increase and do the work, and it's great to see. Now on the other side of that, there's a couple of injuries which we'll have to manage, and the team will no doubt shift. But I'm nervous. I'm nervous because if a couple people go down on one team, it puts a lot of pressure on that team. And if one team doesn't make the world record, no one makes the world record. So yeah, we need all 22 players to contribute.
Okay, I'm going to do something a bit strange here. I want to go around, think of the percentage, the chance of success, and don't let someone else's answer influence your answer. So think about it. Now lock it in. Now I'm going to go around. I'm going to start this side. Where are you thinking as a percentage of success? Be realistic. What number are you on?
Okay, the number that sort of popped into my mind was 75%.
Okay.
I think that's a realistic level. There are lots of things that can just pop out at you that like Dino was saying, that can just torpedo the whole thing, and we can't really predict what's going to happen. We don't know how our feet are going to go with chafing for 30 hours, 34 hours on the sand. We don't know how we're going to cope with perhaps like a calf strain or something with a couple of guys, and something like that happens and makes it very, very hard for the rest of us.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the thing that surprised me about this attempt is the fervor that everyone has had, and it sort of almost turned into a bit of a groundswell, dragging us all along, and we're all swept up in it. And I never. I think it was first mentioned maybe 9 months ago, and when I first heard someone come up with the idea, it was a lot from a casual conversation on a Sunday coffee after our game of touch, and I didn't give it much credence, and then I think the idea slowly took hold over those first couple of weeks, and it's just grown and grown and grown. So it's been pretty amazing to be part of that aspect of it. So yeah, my guess 75%, maybe 80.
Yeah. And when you say you're worried about chafed feet, do you really mean chafed balls? It's a serious question.
Well, I was being polite.
He's very dexterous.
Yeah. Tom,
We need some Vaseline and maybe some sand socks.
what do you want me in the corner?
Well, do you have a roll on the night? So
I'm chilling.
there you
I'm just there to support. Tom, I'd love to get your numbers. What percentage? Now, don't let Loz's number affect your number.
Being a conservative type, I'd like to say more likely than not. Now, that could be anywhere between 51 and 99%. However, I like to have glass half full. So whereas we have 75%?
75.
I would say a good 80, even 85%. Mind you, I must disclaim that by saying, or clarify that, I won't be actually on the sand. I believe I'll be lapping it up
You'll be running back and forth.
with a mango smoothie. Yeah, I won't be lubricating their thighs, that's for sure, but I'll be in a mentoring role, I believe. Is that no, maybe a commentary role. I would say
You'll be our
look,
inspiration.
I've seen these guys train, and when I have seen them train, I feel and I hear that Chariots of Fire song go through my head. These guys are gearing up for dynamite, and I mean it. So look, I think they can achieve that. They will have inspiration when that boombox on the sideline cranks up. They will be on cloud nine. I'm sure of that.
The event is actually a lot bigger than us, in that we've partnered with Beyond Blue. It's actually a charity event. So we're actually the whole idea of men's mental health, and it's probably something that's been big for the group because I think we're all a bit competitive. So it's been a natural outlet, an opportunity to have a go at a world record is actually quite inspiring. I guess, I'm 59. I haven't tried for anything beforehand, so got to give it a go now. The training, I haven't changed anything. I haven't run pavements for 30 years. I've run on the sand, and I've walked on the sand, or I've swum, or I've cycled. So, I'm not changing the routine there. The intensity of our games is actually a lot higher than what we'll be doing during whole process, because I'm sure at times we'll be walking, if that, because it will be significant. As long as the collective inspires us all, and the collective is not just the players, but it's all the people, the support staff, the people who've been involved, the refs, everybody. I think you've got to use the Devils number 87%.
So when Danny asked the question, my head just went to 50-50. I think there's so many variables. If there's a lightning storm, the weather, you know, the risk of injuries, and I just see, you know, if a couple of players go down on one team, all of a sudden you're not getting the rest that you need, and that's just going to increase the stress and the intensity on every player. And, you know, if a couple of people get injured after 10 hours, there's still 25 hours to go or something. And I just don't know if...
Mate,
I don't know if we can make it.
the magic sponge. Remember when you were a kid?
Is that what your dad used to use?
The fella on the sideline, the kid on the sideline, or the spare player used to run out with that bucket, get that sponge in the bucket of brown, muddy water with all this grass floating around, get it, rub the face, and tell you to open the mouth. He'd squeeze that in. I remember it. I did it. We didn't know any better. In the days before Gatorade and all these cans of those red, bullish guarana things. And we'd be off. We'd be off playing again. We'd be off tackling and doing everything. So, look, I think we just need that sponge.
That's your job,
I'll
Tom.
go on and play another 2 or 3 hours.
So
Well,
without
I'm
the
confident.
sponge, without the sponge, it's 50-50. With the sponge, it's 100%.
100%. But you do get a staph infection afterwards.
I'm hoping for the positive, but I've, you know,
When I
as
was a
people
boy-
that work with athletes and have done some endurance stuff, I'm
When I was
concerned.
a boy, there was playing footy at half time. In order to get G'd back up for a big second half, I'd get the old tube of Genka Rub, Metzl, Tiger Balm, slap it in the groin, slap it on some of my teammates, and they would be off.
Yeah.
They would
Okay.
be off just
We need to
running
take,
that ball
write
up
that note
with
down.
all sorts of abandon.
So we've got a pretty widespread. So Dino's saying 50-50, which is a very...
And I want to be wrong. Like,
Yeah.
don't I don't want to be the pessimist. But I just, when you said it, I haven't put like a number on it before. And when you said what percentage, and I'm just like, wow.
50, I mean, 50-50 is the lowest guess. But look, what happens in both scenarios? What happens if you fail? What do you go back to the drawing board and go, how are we going to do this? Do you throw in the towel? Oh, you've got something to say, big time. Here we go.
Failure is not an option. I'll tell you guys why. As sure as we will be out rail, Hayne and Shown on the day, I am certain that the thought that we could be replaced in not only a decade's time, perhaps not even in half a decade's time, maybe in 3 or 4 years' time, will keep us performing at the top of our game.
Okay. Are you also worried that robots will be raising money for Beyond Blue? will they have problems they need to talk about?
Oh yeah.
Because they're being mistreated by their all-powerful human overlords. Look, you are bringing an important point though. If not now, then when? You're at your peak performance now, so you don't have a choice. I did tell you a story briefly before, and I'll mention it again. I did a 150-kilometer race with Red Bull, and Red Bull booked me to do it because they assumed that I would fail because it was up against super athletes, and I didn't know that. And so I only joined the race because I thought that I could finish it. And if I had known that everyone expected me to fail, I probably would have failed. So if you're coming into this record-breaking attempt with failing isn't an option, then I'm going to throw down a different percentage. I'm going to say that there is a 95% chance that you are going to succeed. Even though it's my job to be pessimistic, I think that you guys don't have a choice. Yeah. It's do or die. And by that, I mean quite literally, some of you may die.
You know, what I love about it is the boys have gone after the challenge. It's if there wasn't a world record to beat, we could set a world record and play for 10 hours. And that wouldn't be 50-50. That would be, we would set a world record. And if we only play for 9...
Well, to be fair, you could set a local record. I believe there's some lads overseas.
This is the Australian record
that currently hold the touch record, which is, I think that you guys
34 hours and 9 seconds.
That's right, and they will be watching if we stream it and wanting us to fail.
No, they've been very supportive.
Yeah,
those guys have been really supportive.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
There was a brilliant
Take that
spreadsheet
back.
sent through of how they structured their play and their subs and their
That's
rest.
very good of them.
Yeah, it's quite brilliant. And they said records are meant to be broken. So I'm excited that there's a challenge because I wanna do stuff that's a challenge. I want to get out of my comfort zone.
Okay,
and that's what really drives.
Quick response from all of you. And this is just like a one sentence thing. And again, starting with Loz, what do you say to the other lads that hold the current record? Like, if you could say it, like one sentence, is it something? Are you grateful for the encouragement? Is it a threat that you're going to destroy their record? What have you got for them?
No, I've been most amazed by their encouragement. So I say thank you and good spirit. Good on you guys.
Yeah.
I'd like to reiterate that. They've set the benchmark. As you said, Dino, benchmarks, records are meant to be broken. And when that whistle blows, our guys will be up those ladders, out of the trenches, and we will be going in one direction only.
Forward!
I hope so.
You do mean forward, right?
Yeah. Well, upwards. I mean, you didn't finish. There's only one direction, and it's
From the man with the tiger balm trying to grab them from behind. So they'll be going, hey, come here.
one direction, down into the sand to sleep. I like that. What about you, Dino? Last words when it comes to the encouragement or banter threat towards the current world record holder for touch.
Yeah, no, they've been awesome. I think there's definitely a community spirit, and that's what I really love from this event. I love the challenge. I love the community spirit. The biggest challenge or the bigger challenge is trying to raise $340,000 for Beyond Blue. So that's a part of it for me. I'd like to hit both challenges.
I mean, that's a huge amount of money. That is a lot of money, and I mean, it's interesting because there are so many different places that you could put that much needed fundraising. What was it about Beyond Blue that seemed important for everybody?
Well, it's a men's mental health group. The boys are out, they're connecting, they're getting some exercise,
Yeah.
fresh air, sunshine, all the things that people do for their mental health these days. These guys have been doing it before mental health was a, and I don't want to use the word bad word, but before it was getting the recognition it deserved.
Yeah, I mean, and Beyond Blue is the widest used and most accessed mental health organisation in Australia.
Yeah.
So it's very, very important for everybody, really. So it is a great organisation to get behind. And, your group is one of the most challenging groups to talk about mental health because turns out old buggers don't like talking about their feelings. So I guess it does make sense.
Well, the statistics with men's mental health are horrible working in that space. I didn't want to talk about them.
Yeah.
And, as a lifeguard, I've picked up more dead bodies than I'd care to remember. Unfortunately, working near the Gap, which was notorious for suicide in Australia, and even Tama and the cliffs at Bronte. I've picked up dead bodies from
Yeah.
Mainly men committing suicide.
Yeah. So obviously it's something that's very close to home for you. So it must make you quite proud to get behind something like Beyond Blue.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's a big challenge, and I'm glad to hear the boys are up for it and are disappointed with my 50-50.
Yeah, look, I tell you what, you've been really letting the team down from the get-go.
Well, I'm hoping to inspire them. I want
Our goal is
to
to get Dino to up his estimate.
Yeah.
So I don't want him to validate my estimation, but after a 12-hour trial run, I guess I could update my score.
Yeah. Are you going to be taking, are there odds on who's most likely to crash and burn first? I mean, like, negative Nancy over here, dude.
I think as Dino said, the whole purpose here is to support, make awareness for men's mental health, and do something that we can do to support this cause, and also to support the community in something that is positive. So we all struggle at times, we men internally, and as you said, we don't always let it out. So this is just something to bring it to the forefront and give awareness and make purpose out of it. So look, it's something that I think will drive us all through this. And all I can say is, look, thanks to everybody who's supported us throughout with donations and support in all other ways. And please continue everybody to do the same.
And you know what, Tom? I think that you guys will make it. I know that he doesn't think so, but God.
Well, now Tommy's going to be chasing me around with Tiger Balm on his fingers.
After 32 hours, you're running.
I'll be rubbing a little bit on you. So
Imagine I come off for a rest and he's trying to get the Tiger Balm out. It's like, I'm back on the field.
Anything to get that percentage up on Dino. I'm happy to lend a hand, so to speak.
Lend a hand. God, I'm never going to be able to look at Tiger Balm the same way again. Look, final question, guys. Last question. I'm going to think positively here. So you've done it. You're in the Guinness World Record book of, incredible feats. You've done it. You succeeded. How do you celebrate?
Yeah, well, look, the gala dinner is really going to be a way to celebrate what we aim and hope and are confident of achieving, and that will provide funds towards this fantastic cause. So it will be a great loosen up, wind down and relax, and just to say, hey, we've all made a difference. Not only to ourselves, but to men's health and the wider community. Laurie?
Yeah, I think the celebration personally is going to be, the dinner that we all get together and sort of pat ourselves on the back and celebrate what we've achieved. But I think sort of personally, for me, just the internal satisfaction that I'm going to get from being able to, sort of elevate my level to that point, and also the physical benefits as well. Like I don't think I've ever sort of pushed myself to this level of fitness. 4 or 5 exercise sessions a week, doing it with a bunch of friends that I really, really like, and I think we'll all see the benefits of that into months and months afterwards, and hopefully we can keep our physical fitness on an ongoing basis at that level.
Yeah, it doesn't stop here. Keep on keeping on. John?
Just got to go back to the fact that probably been playing the game for camaraderie. And so the chance of actually playing the longest game, again, the training to get there is all about camaraderie. And the gala dinner afterwards is
11th of September, by the way, if anyone wants to come along.
Yep.
Tickets are available in the link below.
It's about camaraderie for that and to commemorate, and hopefully we can all enjoy the experience and reminisce. Would be great. and celebrate, and it's for a much greater cause.
Excellent. Now, you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say something super, super cliche to wrap this all up, and that is,
Oh, thank you.
you're all winners in my eyes. No matter what happens, boys. Thank you, beautiful buggers.
We were waiting for that.
Yeah, you big, beautiful buggers. Dino, how can we support? How can we watch the game? Where is it? What time? How's it all working?
Yeah, it's the 3rd and 4th of September at Bondi Beach, which is the most popular tourist destination in Australia. Millions of visitors a year. We'll put all the links below. If you can spare a couple of bucks, it goes straight to Beyond Blue. And regardless of whether we achieve it or not, we'll be there giving it a crack and raising money. And we'd love for you to get involved in one way or another. You'll be able to check it out. There'll be social media, and you can listen to us talk about it. There'll be stories to tell, and I'm really excited I know we're going to film the whole thing. I'm really excited to see some of the footage and some of the people in the pain cave. And if there's tiger balm involved, there's tiger balm involved. And I want to see that afterwards, because that'll be magical and that'll be memorable and that'll be something to show the grandkids.
Sweet. It's definitely something that can't be mixed. So I guess we'll see you at the longest game.
Yeah.